Welcome to Blue Wire Studios here in the lobby of the Wynn Hotel. This is David Meltzer, and I am live here on Entrepreneurs, the Playbook. I'll tell you, you get a young entrepreneur in here who tells you, hey, man, I'm just following your footsteps. I want to be just like you. It warms your heart. Armando Naar, he's speaking all over the world 2 times this weekend at the draft, and he's here in Las Vegas, a young entrepreneur with a mission to help other people just like mine. So I am so excited, Armando, to have you in studio. Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me, brother.
It's awesome, man. So, you're a born entrepreneur, right? Just like Gary, right? It's in your blood. And I think the best entrepreneurs, it's in their blood, just like the best basketball players, the best football players. They're just born carrying a ball. What were some of the attributes, the skills, and the knowledge that you had at a really young age that was a differentiator that said, you know what, I see things differently, and I'm going to do things differently because I'm going to be something different?
Yeah, for sure. So when I was like, 13, 14 years old, I'll go type in how to make money. I just Googled it. I don't know. There's no other, my parents.
If there was Google when I was 5, I would have typed in, I want to be rich. That's it.
Right.
But they didn't have any Google. They didn't have computers or phones, but go ahead.
So I had the luxury of that, I guess.
Yeah,
right?
you
So
did.
I typed, okay, how to make money. It was like car wash, lemonade stand, mowing lawns. This is years ago, right? So I picked up on mowing lawns, right? Lawnmower is like something. I was like, okay, cool. So I asked my dad for $100 to go get a lawnmower. I got a leaf blower too, right? I got a little package set up. And I had this idea. I was like, I want to go knock on doors to get lawns, to get customers to mow their lawn and stuff. And I was doing that for about 2 weeks. And I had like 24 houses. So all day in the summertime, I'm just cutting lawn by myself. And I realized.
What were you charging?
$25. Yeah, $25 a lawn. It would take me 30 minutes to 45 minutes a lawn, right? Weed eating and the whole shebang, doing it good, right? And then I realized one day I was like, I don't want to do this anymore, but I want to get paid. This is not, I didn't watch, Grant Cardone or you or get, this is somebody, this was 13, 14-year-old me. I didn't realize about, passive income and starting your own business. This was natural me. Like,
making money.
I want to make money, but I don't want to do anything. So I had 3 of my friends. I hired all 3 of them. I bought lawnmowers, stuff for them. So I had 3 lawnmowers, 3 leaf blowers, 3 weed eaters. And I was knocking on the doors, doing the same thing I was doing before. And I was giving them $10 a lawn.
Yeah,
and
they were loving it. Yeah,
they're happy.
For 30 minutes?
30 minutes, they're making $10. I was making $15.
Tax-free.
Exactly, right? Tax-free, all cash. So I was making, $15 a pop every single lawn, doing that all summer, man. Made around like 10, 12 grand. I was 13, 14 years old. So I kind of understood, like, I sat back and relaxed. Eventually, the customers were referring me more people. I picked up the phone a little bit and just had a small little business. So that was my mindset switch. Like, I need to create passive income. I don't want to sit here and make money every day.
And then when you make that much money young, who was helping you learn what to do with the money? Because I was like you, but I had no one around, because I made a bunch of money in different ways when I was young, but I had no one around telling me what to do with the money. Do you have anyone around, or at what age have you had someone around?
I made that money and I blew it.
Yeah.
My parents, they don't know. They were, at that time, they didn't know any better.
Right.
At the time, they didn't know any better. So I was just blowing
What
it.
about today?
Of course. So now, I invest in anything that creates me passive income. I learned that, so from Gary, from different people, Grant, that attributes. So I definitely, anything, I will invest in anything that gives me a dividend every single month. I don't care about quick flips. I'm a long-term player to go ahead and create, different streams of income in different ways.
Yeah, because money, like behavior, it aggregates on itself. And if you study Einstein, something called compound interest, the rule of 72. Yes. Right? If something improves 1% a day or 1% a month or 1% a year, it would take 72 days, months, or years in order to double. Mm-hmm. So if you start when you're 13 years old and everything's doubling, we get to even a more compounding effect, which is why different products, solutions, and services are great to invest for your children as well, to teach them the passive side of things. Now, you created your own program at a young age to scale even more passive income. But what I like about it with the Running Rebels automation system is that you're helping other people learn how to do the same thing that made you successful at such a young age. How do you take that second step from doing it yourself? Well, it's actually a third step, right? So first you mow the lawns, then you have other people mow the lawns for you, then you sell a system for other people to do what you've done. And that's truly the aggregation of how this acceleration of income happens. For you, when was that turning point to create your own program so that you could help facilitate elevating others.
When my dad was telling me, he said, to stop being a consumer with everything and start producing something. That was a big thing for me. He told me, I was like, I'm buying course after course, left after right, program after program. He's like, no. Start your own shit, right? Start your own program. Do something. You know something people don't know. And who's my age? I'm 21 years old. I've been an entrepreneur since I was like 13 or 14 years old. The past couple of years have been absolutely amazing for me. But yeah, I mean, one day he said, hey, cut this shit, like create something yourself. And then I went and did it. So I bought a couple of courses on e-commerce, on Shopify, and different how to drop ship and stuff. I got kind of the information wasn't really that good. It was a bullshit course.
Right, a lot of bullshit courses.
Right, a lot of bullshit courses. So I was like, all right, fuck this. I'm going to YouTube. Learn how to drop ship. I learned how to do everything myself on Shopify. So I started with Shopify for about a couple of years. Then I exited a women's clothing brand for around $300,000 net. So it was cool. 18, it was 19 at the time when I sold it. So I took that money. Hey, I'm cool. Okay, I have some money now. From there, I actually opened up a nightclub in Gainesville, Florida, and I ran that for a year. So amazing. It was super cool because University of Florida, Gators over there. I went to school in Jacksonville. Jacksonville, Florida is about an hour away. So it was funny. I was 20 years old. I
Couldn't drink.
Couldn't drink. I owned a club. My high school peers were going to my club and paying me to go to my club.
Right.
So that feeling was absolutely amazing. So from there, my whole dream was to move to Miami. So I live in Miami now. I told myself when I'm 21, I'll live in Miami. The 2 days before my birthday, ended up moving to Miami. Didn't know how I was going to do it, but I knew I was going to get there. And why I moved to Miami was because I had I wanted to start a service called e-commerce automation, which my company is called Running Rebels Automation, but my service is Facebook Marketplace Automation. I specialize in Facebook Marketplace. So I created this this platform to go ahead and service to allow people to pay a small fee to go ahead and have access to passive income every single month. And what I mean by that is I go ahead and I build you a Facebook store on Marketplace. I put all the products on there for you. I do everything from A to Z, customer service, order fulfillment, any questions, anything they have. I do everything from A to Z, a completely built system for you. It's a done-for-you business model. So I created that program, and then now I offer that as a service to people. And I mean, people are making anywhere between $500 to $2,000 a month passive, completely passive. And recently, the past couple of weeks, I cracked a code in the system to where nobody else has been able to, which is I can have as many sources as I want per person. If you ask any other persons, I'm sure some people with the same services I do.
Yep.
It's one per person. You can have as many as you want. You can have 1 million sources with me tomorrow. I can do it, and I can do anything overseas, London, Paris, anywhere, Tokyo, anywhere, Africa, anywhere in the world. You can have as many sources as you want. So I kind of cracked that code recently, and my phones are kind of buzzing up because everybody wants more passive income, and my price point is very key. So I'm going to explain that.
Please, yeah, because you are for the average Joe, but I was thinking, the nice thing about a service or a training course like yours is that age doesn't matter, right? It's the system and the guarantees and the pricing that matter.
Exactly. So as you know, I'm sure plenty of people in my space. You can name more people in your hands.
Yeah, most of them are bullshit, by the way.
100%. I'm about to get to that point in a minute.
The only reason you're here is that we vetted this to make sure that you weren't.
Yeah.
Because we got burned up front and put some people out there, and all I got was negative comments back. And then those people blame you.
No, exactly.
Yeah,
and then it goes back to on you, and then you got to keep vetting people. So the biggest reason why I do what I do. So last year, for an example, this service, for anybody who doesn't know this service, is anywhere between 25 to 55K. People are charging this all day long. People are paying it all day long. So last year for this service, I charged 15K. I sold 200 stores. I provided an amazing service, not one bad review, not one bad comment. I had a couple people had,
which is amazing, by the way.
Yeah,
because we couldn't find one bad comment either.
Yeah, yeah. So I had a couple things like that. Then I was like, okay, they're doing good. So sold 200 stores last year, around 15K. Absolutely crushed it. 7-figure year for me. Completely happy, But this year kind of woke me up. I was like, okay, I want to actually help people. I don't want to help the rich or get rich, which is absolutely amazing. There's nothing wrong with that. But for me, I want to align with people. I'm Hispanic, right? So I want to, align with other Hispanics, any other culture that wants to break the barrier of trying to reach their goal of financial freedom. So this year with my team, I sat down and said, I don't care about the upfront money as much anymore. I don't care because the difference between my company and everybody else is I actually produce numbers. When this system is done right and you actually produce and you actually make money every single month, the front end is so little because you want to acquire so many people's different, you know,
You like passive income.
Exactly. I actually want passive. So I actually acquired, you know, so many more clients by changing my price. So my price right now, it fluctuates, but normally it's like $3,500.
Yeah, affordable, but yet you got to charge something to make sure they're serious.
Exactly.
Or else they're not going to do it. People don't have any coherence.
And the most I've charged this year is $5K, and that's just different sales, different increases. But I will never go over $5,000. You know, typically, you know, $3,500. Sometimes I even do it for free to certain people. You know, I want to help people out. But why I'm doing that? Because to show everybody I'm real. I really produce results. I don't care about your 35K. I don't need it. Listen, I'm not here to screw you over. And what I learned, David, what I learned so much is that when I changed my price, I was getting way more referrals.
Yeah.
And I'm over delivering on my service every single month. My minimum payout is $500 a month. To a lot of people, that's a lot of money, you know? So, and now I'm able to, you can buy more than one store and I give you discounts. That way you can, you know, create.
But it's something that a single mom can do. And, you know, $500 to a single mom changes her life and her children's lives. It's enough to put them over the edge where they're not insecure with food. They can make a car payment and pay for their insurance, and all of a sudden the kids, instead of worrying all the time and they're angry, they have time to study, to get their own jobs, to do things like you've been able to do. And then the nice thing about what you can do now is you start with one store and you can get a second, a third, a fourth, and a fifth. Exactly. You're changing lives.
Yeah, so I'm helping people start their barrier. It's, you know, the entry is so small. And again, to a lot, some people, $3,500, $5K is a lot of money. I understand. But what I say, you know, what I like to say to that is if, you know, you have to go get it. Something has to go get it. Things can't be given to you.
Yeah.
You know, things cannot be given to you. But I still mean, when I change my price point, I mean, right now I'm at like 600 plus stores and counting. Everybody's making at least $500 every month, and it goes up. So it goes.
Do you make a percentage on the back end of what they make?
Of course. That's why I don't care much on the front anymore.
Right.
When you produce real results, you get real results. You know, my back end is absolutely ridiculous. I'm super blessed right now. And I want to help. So I created a course. It's gonna launch in less than a month from now, and I'm actually giving the course away for free. It's gonna teach you how to make one store. It doesn't teach you how to do what I do, but I mean, if you can try to figure it out. But what I tell people is that, you know, if you want to sell my service, you know, talk to me, DM my team. We can, you know, create a compensation plan, which I do. I have a great commission structure, anywhere between 20-25%. Which is still good. So
nice.
If you don't want to, hey,
I'm an overlap agreement guy. So if you've seen my videos, right, I'm trying to get everyone to be a sponsor and a power sponsor of each other. That's what creates passive incomes. That network of people is why you're creating a whole bunch of sponsors and power sponsors by giving it an affordable price that you articulate and can quantify easily and guarantee.
Yeah. So all of my stores, man, it's a 2-year contract, right? You know, and I will do it after 2 years. It's just a two-year contract, super simple. Everybody's super happy. And if you want a refund for any reason, I give it to you. I don't care.
Right.
I don't care. I want to make sure everybody's happy. I know things happen, life happens, you know, things of that nature. But listen, it's a super easy business model.
You end up with a store anyway.
I'm sorry.
Right? If you give their money back, I imagine you get the store anyway.
Yeah, I still have their store. I'll pay somebody, or I'll give it to one of my cousins or something. And just, you know, have some fun with
like,
it.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. So actually, my dad recently just bought 6 stores yesterday. More.
I love the fact that you said he bought them. You didn't give them to him. That's
awesome. No. He's like, hey, I want to invest. Like, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Listen, I gave some people away, but I mean, honestly, it's just something, you know, and they're interested, you know. It's just different. And so actually, I'm sorry, let me cut you off.
No, you're good. I was going to ask a question because one of the other interesting things about what you do, because you're an old soul, you're born with this gift, and you get and understand by learning from others. And you mentioned, you know, 2 of the guys that I appreciate that really can teach people to build a legacy, a financial legacy, by creating passive income. And if we can get more young people to get the extra doublings, you know, it makes a really big difference. And I'll give you that example, right? If you take 2 and double it by 20, right, it's 2 million. But by 21 is 4 million. By 22 is 8 million. By 23 is 16 million. So if you just get 3 extra turns, I call it from the technology world, turns of the ASICs, right. 3 extra doubles because because everything doubles in 7 years, right? 72. And, you know, that's just at straight percent interest of what you do. If it doubles faster, imagine. But usually, you know, starting at a younger age, the difference between a 13-year-old starting and a 24-year-old starting out of college, right? You got 3 extra turns. And that's why when they're 65, you see people with extraordinary wealth and the other people are behind, not because there's any differentiator in talent. It's just simply the consistent, persistent player with good behaviors like yourself end up doubling. But the question I have is, you took it to the next level because you speak. Yes. And that's a whole nother skill set to being an entrepreneur. I know great entrepreneurs, and, you know, they can't speak. They can't, number one, motivate and inspire. They can't teach, and they can't coach. So, you know, it's one thing to be able to tell what you do, but to have people understand what you do, to inspire them, motivate them, those are whole different tools. How long has it taken you, and where do you feel your speaking career is? Because you've got, you know, Better Way Conference. You're here doing, I think, Clubhouse Live event.
Yeah.
2, you masterminds. I mean, your audiences aren't 12-year-olds.
Yeah.
So you got to be able to bring it. How have you been able to mature that skill set on top of the business side?
Well, most events that I even go to, I'm the youngest person in the room.
Right.
99% of the chances I'm always the youngest person in the room. So,
how old's your dad, by the way?
He's 62.
Okay, good. He's older than me.
Yeah,
I was gonna make that point.
Yeah, no, you're good. Yeah, so I mean, for the most part, so either most people either appreciate, hey, I'm young doing something, or 2, they're just seeing some kind of, like, I'm just some kind of bullshitter. They just don't understand because I'm young. So my speaking career, man, I'm still working on it right now. You know, I'm always working on it. But I mean, the best way I can describe it is it's something, you know, scared, nervous, like everybody else. You know, even shooting content out, like, you know,
in this studio,
yeah,
can make you a little bit scared.
Exactly, right? It's a little bit intimidated, but it's still fun. I mean, it's learning curve. What I understand is people are. I'm not scared anymore, because if you really know what the fuck you're talking about, and you really believe it with your heart believes it and your mind believes it, everything that you speak, everything you talk about is natural, it's real, it's facts, and there's no, you know, it's all real, and it's the real me, it's the real you.
Yeah, I tell my kids all the time. I was speaking on a stage with 22,000 people, and my kids were with me. And of course, the girl said, "Dad, aren't you nervous?" And I said, "Why don't you come on stage when I start and just clap for me? And then you can walk off stage. So walk together, and I want you guys just to clap for me from stage and walk off." And I had 2 reasons to do it. One was to get the killer content of your own kids clapping for you on a stage with that many people.
Yeah.
But what I realized is, I turned to them, I said, "Are you going to be nervous doing this?" And they all said no. And I said, when I get on a stage and speak, it's the same as clapping for me, right? And when you're speaking about who you are, the essence of who you are, your vibration, your frequency, creating a neighborhood of people in that same vibration or frequency, there's nothing to be afraid of. It's when you are trying to figure it out, you're not prepared, the slides don't work. You know, these are the things that create interference, the things that create void, shortages, and obstacles, resistance to what you want. But you are living in your essence, Armando, and I can't wait to do more with you. Can't wait to see. If you are interested at all in Facebook automation and understand how you can create passive income, full-time, part-time, side hustle, it's an extraordinary way to do it. And if you can duplicate it again and again and have more than one store, it's not just play money or not just save your money. It's real money, and you can learn how to do it with my friend Armando Naar. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm here at the Blue Wire Studios in the lobby of the Wynn.